What is up, everybody? And thank you for tuning in. And welcome to yet again another episode of Comfort and Chaos Podcast. Now, I want to go ahead and start off by saying, real quickly, guys, this is a quick little disclaimer for up ahead. So I want to apologize. And during the editing, we realized that there is some audio issues in this upcoming episode. Not too bad, nothing too crazy, but I want to go ahead and forewarn you ahead of time. There are some gaps. My partner, Will, he comes in from far high up in the mountaintops of Colorado. And sometime when the weather networking is somewhat of an issue especially when it comes to audio and the visual capability. But in the end, we still got through the episode and we tackled some good topics. And I look forward to your guys' input. But in the meantime, guys, I just want to own that because that's what we're all about here is ownership and accountability and kind of give you guys that heads up. So I don't want to waste too much of your time. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get on with the episode. So enjoy it, comment, like, subscribe, let us know your thoughts. I'll see you guys soon. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Comfort and Chaos Podcast with, of course, you already know, your one and only, and, of course, the co-host, the other one and only. Yo, what
Look
up,
at
Will?
us. Look at us. Look at us matching.
Oh, hey,
Look
we're
at us.
matching, guys. Hey, check it out, team. Hey, if you want to get
Look at
yourself
us.
one of these Lululemon worthy
Twinsies.
hoodies, guys, let me tell you, it's like a warm hug. I just smell milk and honey, just naturally just coming off of me right now, just very smooth and comforting. And it's cold out. Will, I don't know about you, but it is cold out here in Texas right now.
You're a first sergeant. Use alcohol and nicotine and hate.
Hey, hey, I'm gonna still keep trucking. All right. I'm still trucking. It's not gonna stop. I'm still trucking. But let me tell you, it is cold, and when you're taken out of that, for me, you're taken out of that climate, hey, I'm gonna acclimate, accordingly. But when I'm taken out of that, hey, it's been a while. It's been a while, since I've had that under 40-degree weather. And, hey, we don't need that here today, Will. All right.
Oh, man. What we got?
I'll acclimate, though. I'll get there, guys. I'll get there. Either way, team.
No.
Hey, if you want to keep yourself nice and warm, we got some new hoodies down there. Hey, link in the description down below, guys. Go to the Chaos shop. Hey, enter discount code Chaos in all caps. Get a special discount, guys. And hey, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, be part of the Comfort and Chaos community. And let's get on with the show. First of all, before we get on with the show, we like to always check in with each other. It's always good to check in with one another. All right, team, always do that. You check your left and rights, check those who are in your circles. Hey, check up on each other. Sometimes you got to ask that question. Are you good? You got to ask that question. All right. Take it from us. Trust me. You got to ask that question. Are you good? So Will, I'm going to ask you, man, are you good?
Yeah, man. I'm rock hard solid good over here. Just living it up in this
well in doubt.
Yeah. I was waiting for that one. You know what, man? Like, it feels so good in this sweet little hoodie here. Like, you recommend it. Like, don't even wear a shirt underneath it. You don't have to, because it feels so goddamn good.
Hey, I don't want to show too much. That's a different channel, right? But we got to do that undershirt check. Yep, that's good.
Nope.
Feeling nice and cozy, guys.
It's smooth. It's smooth, right? Like, I've got my beer, right? Fresh out of my own tap. My little holiday ale still working. I'll keg up that Blue Moon clone probably tomorrow and start working on that one.
Hey,
yeah.
How about let us know when you're gonna launch that special Chaos brew, that Chaos series.
Ooh, you know what? I will brew up a special Chaos one.
Hey, team, comment down below if you're gonna want that. If Will should put that link in the description as well, because that'd be a special limited edition Chaos brew. It'll help
Yeah,
you
you're
find
gonna
comfort
have
in
to
that
go point
chaos.
to point on that one. I'm pretty sure I don't have a liquor license. But you know what, man? If
Technically, you don't need one for beer and wine, though, right?
you're paying tax, if no, you do. If you're paying taxes, right, it ain't shine. So hit a brother up.
That's right. Hit a brother up, guys. Hey, either way, that's good to hear, man. It's good to hear. Now,
How
I'll
about
tell
you,
you,
buddy?
I'll tell you what, man. It's been a busy week.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have a new federal holiday, which that was a nice little break in the middle of the week for
I was
those of
gonna
you
ask you. I heard you
who
had the day
work.
off.
Yeah, and I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm
Yeah,
not complaining. And it's in the middle of the week too. So hey, I'm definitely not complaining. But it is kind of weird because we usually have like 4 days, or 3-day weekends. So it
yeah,
ties into a weekend. But it's weird when you
yeah,
have a day off and then you got to go right back to work the next day. So
yeah,
all
yeah.
right. We got it taken care of. Luckily I got a good team and we already planned and we're ready to go tomorrow. Easy breezy.
You better enjoy that shit now, man. Elon comes in, government efficiency, man. You're gonna be rowing all
Yeah,
them extra
I'm
holidays. You know what? Like
maybe
12, 14
I'm
hour
hoping
days. Time to start rowing.
I'm hoping him and his team make a stop over at HRC, and kind of walk around that building, and see how they
Could
do
you
things.
could you imagine it? The level of like everybody fucking fired. Like
So,
oh,
what
that'd
do
be
you
so
do
good.
and how do you do this? What's your method here?
Not
There's
gonna
like
work here
20
anymore, so it doesn't matter.
there's like 20 individuals over here who literally showed up for like 10 minutes. Now they're gone. I haven't seen them all day. you know, hey, imagine if he were to come and it's like, oh, and so you're a soldier here, but you're you had an appointment at 10 and you're gone all day, and this is a repeated
Yeah.
pattern. Oh, okay.
Mm, mm.
I'm
I
kidding,
think
team. I'm kidding. All right,
no,
guys, take
no,
care of
I'm not.
yourselves. Either way, man. Hey, appreciate you asking though. I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. All right, guys. Hey, a lot of stuff going on out there, team. And you already know a lot of it's already in your headlines, a lot of it's in your feeds, But we're gonna kind of touch a little bit, get bring some common sense to this uncommon world right now that we are living in. All right. So thanks for tuning in. I know I already said it earlier before, but hit that subscribe button and let's get on with the show. All right, Will. So I'm sure you already know, man. Right now, we got some craziness going on. Obviously, you can see, these fires, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
California
man.
is burning.
Absolutely devastating. Yeah.
It looks like apocalypse
Yeah.
city over there. I mean, seriously, and
Yeah. For sure.
obviously, but what's crazy is there's three different sectors that are you know burning right now, and of course it's spreading. And my heart goes out to you guys. Hey, if those of you are tuning in from California, hey man, my prayers and hearts go out to you guys from the Comfort and Chaos team over here. And I pray that you guys are finding comfort in all that chaos because you guys are definitely feeling it out there. And but I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really surprised, Will, that reportedly as of right now, only 5 have been reported dead. We have only 5 casualties, from that. And obviously that's not counting the ones who are already hurt, but we're talking millions probably affected.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's going up, right? Like it's 5 today, but
oh,
you're gonna see that. You're gonna see a jump.
and what's crazy though, Will, is a lot of it too is I feel like people are just kind of being stubborn and not wanting to leave their house, and I don't blame them. That's their
Yeah.
livelihood, that's their home, that's their
Yeah.
family's home, and it's in them to protect that. And I get that because I more likely would do the same until I just knew, okay, hey, I can't fight this fight no more. Let's get out of here. It's not worth it now. I gave it my best. But there are certain people out there, and I'm watching all these stories, and they're literally out there with their garden hoses,
Yeah. Yep.
and they were told to evacuate like a day ago, and they're still there. fighting for their homes, and it blows my mind, that that I mean, that's a reality I hope you and I never have to face, but it sucks that
Yeah.
I feel I can definitely be empathetic towards those feelings and that energy, what they got to do. But I'm curious to know, man, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. I mean, super chaotic. A whole lot of worst case scenarios. Significant drought in the area. It's been like that for a while. In that area. Um, you've got, literally 100-mile-an-hour gusting winds coming off the ocean at this point. Uh, so making it extremely difficult to fight. And it wasn't one, it's like 4 fires, right? It's 4 absolutely
Okay,
out of
so
control
okay,
wildfires,
so 4, okay.
at least at this point. Right. And separate. So, right. The LA County Fire Department is like, we're tapped. There are no more resources, right? From the entire surrounding area. There are no more firefighters that we can throw against this thing. And we are at 0% containment on most of these
Jeez.
fires. So, not only that, you talked about the chaos homes, and then, they're flooding these highways that are super congested. They can't get out. So people were literally abandoning their vehicles and trying to unass on foot, which just made it that much harder as the firefighters are trying and clean, right? Like, and get to some of these areas. They had to rent bulldozers to smash through all the vehicles to get
Oh,
into some of these
Jesus.
areas. Then you compound it with, I don't know, the people that are, the scumbags that are out there like, oh, if you don't like fire area, Hollywood Hills, right? These are, multi, millionaire actors, actresses,
Oh, yeah.
the Clooney's, the,
Definitely the upper class of
yeah,
of
like
the
all
cities,
the actors, right? Like, have got their houses out there, right? So they just helicopters come pick them up and fly them out. Well, now all the scumbags are in there, like, who I'm going to go rob? That house, right? So
I
massive
know.
looting.
I literally just saw that report, man, and there's a lot of footage, and I'm like,
Yeah,
that blows my freaking mind, man. Why do humans just gotta like suck so bad that they gotta
yeah,
just, oh, hey, here's an opportunity. Let me go loot. Like, are you kidding
yeah,
me, dude? Are you kidding me? This is
right.
the time you guys should unite, Here's an opportunity to unite, come together, help each other out, and I guarantee there's probably some of that going on, but you're just not hearing about that, or you haven't heard
Oh,
about it
sure.
yet. But I guarantee there's probably neighbors helping neighbors. There's people doing that. But
Oh,
it
yeah,
blows my mind how there's still humans out there that are like, if there's a moment of opportunity to loot or to rob somebody or benefit off their loss, we're gonna do it.
yeah,
Let me use this chaos for our benefit.
yeah. I mean, and then, right, you've really got both sides trying to use this as a political club.
Yeah, and I really
On the
hate
red
that,
and
man.
blue. You've got the Dems coming out and going, look at this climate change, right? This is all the result of climate change. And then the Republicans turn around and are like, hey, wait a minute, like, um, didn't you guys like put all these significant water restrictions in to save like a small fish or something? Trump came out, during his first term, I guess he had worked a water distribution plan from Northern
Mhm.
California down into the LA area, right, to ensure that they had, a higher amount of water available to them,
Mhm.
both for like personal use and emergencies and like, right, all of that. And Gavin Newsom shut it down. And then the mayor of LA, it winds up coming out. She wasn't even in the country. She was attending the inauguration of the president of Ghana, if I'm not mistaken. So she's in Africa. fucking around while people's homes are burning down. And then it comes out that she had cut 17 million from the firefighters in the city's budget. Right? So there's literally not enough water to fight fires. There's fire hydrants that are without water
No, of course.
because the water, and then their forest management plans also were significantly cut, all while they're funding, massive illegal immigrant programs, sanctuary states, programs, soft on drug use programs where there's open air drug markets. You're right, like, because they're running around Narcaning all of the cats ODing. It's just right, like, it's just bad. It's bad all around. And it really points out, and you know what, it could be in a red state too. It really could. Just shitty government doing shitty things, right? Blowing taxpayer money, not really looking out for the people that they should be looking out for, and instead using taxpayer funded boondoggles for just the most ridiculous things that their constituents really don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, man. It really
Without a
is.
doubt, and you know what? There's definitely a lot of truth that's coming out on this, but I think the main truth, at least what I'm getting from this is, and we talk about it all the time, but it falls on accountability,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and you and I both know that leaders, all right, leaders are there both in the good times and the bad, and leaders got to take accountability. They got to own their calls if they make good calls, and they got to own their calls when they make a bad call, you
Yeah.
know. And a lot of these videos, like I'm seeing a lot of videos, a lot of articles coming out, you referenced the mayor, and of course the governor,
Yeah.
Governor Newsom, I mean, a lot of it. And I'm seeing a lot of videos where he's like dodging people and trying to get out and just dodge these questions. And they're very like, and I'm like, dude, you know what? Why not just step up, own it, and be like, you know what? We made a bad call. Let me go ahead. We're going to see about fixing this because that is my top priority right now. We had some bad calls. We didn't anticipate something of this magnitude, something. And I am going to devote all my energy and effort. I will not sleep until this is settled. Something like that. Let's just be a leader,
Sure.
regardless.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Bad calls were already made. You can't fix it. You can't go to the past. You can't rewind it. Obviously, they fell in that political cesspool of decision making and everything, but now it's not a time for politics. It's not a time for any of that. Let's take care of the people. Let's take care of your team. Your state right now. This is your role. It's your responsibility. Own it. Own it, and let's get them taken care of.
Yeah, and there's an argument to be made, obviously, for, hey, initially come out with exactly what you're saying, like, hey, like, we can do the post-mortem on this thing when it's done. Right now, I got shit to do, and I'm gonna take care of my business. And we can do that dance later. There's definitely that argument to be made, but they're not even doing that. They're just, like you said, right, just straight up dodging. Like, I'm not dealing with any of this, and it's not a good look.
No, it's
Right,
not.
and
Like,
it's the same policies, right? Like, a bunch of these people, they also don't have insurance anymore. So I think it's
no.
7 out of the 12 major insurers in California have just up and left for the most part. They won't insure people there anymore because of state policies. And so there's a bunch of people that, right, had their fire insurance, their fire homeowners insurance pulled out from
Their policy.
underneath them within the last. They don't have it
Wow.
because the insurance companies were just like, I can't, right? Like, California, you've made it impossible to do business here, right? This is a business. This isn't charity, right? You won't allow me to uh, cover the potential, out payments that I'm going to have to cover, right? Like I need to charge specific rates, and you won't allow me to do that. So I just won't do business here. That's why people are flooding out of that fucking state.
Gosh, man. I was, I mean, I feel for those people, man. And gosh, California is such an amazing state too. Such an amazing state. And it just sucks that they're having to suffer through all this. And while they're still suffering with this, it's a lot of it is because, you chose, I mean, you guys, you Californians, these are the leaders you guys put in position. Like you gotta understand that, and
Yep.
sometimes now maybe next time, next go around, hopefully now you kind of pay attention, to those leaders that you guys put in those positions of leadership, because if they don't have that accountability, they don't take that right ownership that you guys need, then you're not going to be properly taken care of. And it's starting to show, that
Yeah.
when those crucial moments hit, when you need a leader to lead, what do? They bail, they fly to Ghana.
I mean, right? Like the truth probably lies more in the middle ground, right? Like, is there right climate change that's occurring and affecting certain? It's affecting multiple regions inside the country, right? Inside,
Mhm.
throughout the entire world, right? So there's things happening, but it's how we react to it and the
Yep.
policies and things that right people are enacting are causing uh, further issues, if you will, and it's making the problem bigger, right? It's
Yep. No,
exasperating
absolutely.
the issue.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, are these fires, it's been reported they were man-made, right? They weren't of natural causes. They were
I think that there's right, like there's last I heard as of earlier today, they're still under investigation. That they haven't, arson investigators are looking into it, but nothing's been specifically made. Like, how are they right? Was it a campfire that got out of control? Was it a power line that went down?
yeah.
Was it right? Like, don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, do you think they'll ever will at this point?
Uh, the arson investigation stuff is kind of interesting. It seems like they can generally get it down pretty close,
Yeah.
especially if it's something like, oh, a power line, right? Like a tree fell on a power line, the power line broke and it sparked, and right, like something like that, or hey, it came out of a campfire, a place where there would
Yeah.
be campfires, or right, like, eh, eh, we'll
Eh,
see, we'll see.
man, we're gonna see, guys. We're gonna see. But hey, our hearts and our prayers and our best wishes go out to you guys out there in California. Definitely. Please definitely do your best to find comfort in that chaos you guys are going through out there. Um, yeah, really, it's tough to say. I hate for anybody to have to go through that, but it's flooded our social media feeds. It's flooded the media feeds as a whole. So we'll see how this turns out for you guys and hope for the best. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna really kind of hope and pray for the best here. Um, but yeah. Anyways, that's it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. But as you guys know, there's a lot going on. It's not just there in California. There's a lot of stuff still going on around the world. A lot of headlines coming out, and we're going to go ahead and show you here one of the big ones, big other hot topics. Love to hear Will's thought on this, but the National Security Advisor is telling Donald Trump apparently, hey, sir, Mr. President, Greenland is very important, and we think we can go ahead and acquire that. What do you think there, Mr. President? I think it's a good idea. I don't know, Will. What are your thoughts on this one?
Man, I can't wait to visit Mar-a-Lago North. What the fuck, dude? So it's interesting, man. Like, he's brought up some of these things. He actually kind of brought some of this up in his first term as well.
Really? Wow, I didn't even know that.
It really wasn't like he had brought it not about actually like acquiring Greenland like he is now, but he brought that up. He brought up Panama Canal, right? The importance of that in the first term. And now really like doubling down on some of these things. And some of the stuff that he's saying is actually a little scary. It really is, man. Like,
He's definitely. I get the vibes that he's definitely trying to change up things globally now. It's like, dude, wait. I mean, we
I
got a lot to fix here in house right now.
yeah, um, for sure. And that's really right. The mandate that the American people gave was, hey, right, you need to focus on what's going on here inside of our communities, as opposed to this globalist agenda of getting involved everywhere. And so but the interesting part is, right, you almost kind of hope he's trolling, but the way that he's presenting it is a little scary, especially when you start talking about, like, he's talked about utilizing the military down in Mexico to go after the cartels.
Yeah.
Um, uh, when reporters were bringing up, hey, this Greenland thing that you keep mentioning, and then you've talked about retaking the Panama Canal, and you're not planning on using military force or economic attacks against these countries, are you? Like, you're not going to do that. And he's like, well, I'm not going to rule anything out. And you're like, wait, what? Like, you're talking about utilizing the military to retake the Panama Canal? Like, what? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah.
Like, this is where
I
like,
I think I
this is where, like, I divorce any liking for the Trump doing shit like this. This is where it's like, no, man, like, go, somebody put him back in the fucking corner, please.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I like to say, based off his trend, though, and I like to say, based off of my own personal analysis of the way he kind of conducts business,
Sure.
is it's like you
Yes.
said, he definitely likes to use that trolling approach. Like, hey, you don't want to talk to us. You never worked with us before. Well, here's what I'm proposing. And then all of a sudden now they're going to start to talk. They're going to cooperate. We're going to work, we're going to collab and we're going to figure out a plan. And then somehow there's some kind of a deal made. It's a way of a notice that how he gets things done.
Sure.
And
1,000% agree with you.
and maybe, I mean, we'll see what comes out of this because I mean, at the beginning, he was I know there was already talks like he's throwing out, hey, Canada's gonna be our 51st state, and what's
Yeah.
crazy is like days later, the prime minister resigns. So there's a lot that it's like, of course, we don't see Canada being our 51st state, but he throws that out there because it trolls, it gets people set, it changes an idea, it influences people. And it's a trolling approach tactic to kind of gain awareness. I think it stimulates the people because by him saying that, yeah, all the leaders, the higher ups in Greenland, are probably like, wait, what's going on? I think, what is it, Dutch?
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
like, they kind of fall under that. I don't know if, or they actually have a set, because historically, from what I'm tracking, there's basically there was an American uh explorer in like the early 1800s who got out there, and then there was like in the 1700s there was a Dutch explorer or whatever, and they just kind of never really set anything down as far as who owns it. And then there was some discussion
Yeah.
around the time of World War I when they're just kind of like, okay, hey, you guys are just going to run this, just support us in this efforts and all of that. But I don't know the details, guys. You can look it up, but um, there's never really been a set ground. And I think Trump's people, obviously he's got some experts on his staff who are probably kind of giving him some advice as far as how to set his trolling approach. And who knows? I think
No.
honestly, he's the type of guy, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, Will, but I think he's the type of guy that likes to sit at the table and let's make a deal. Let's talk about this.
Sure, but when you
You know,
right, like there's a for me, right, like there are times where you can tell, right, like when he's like, I'll make Canada the 51st state. And everybody kind of chuckles. Okay, we know what you're doing, right? Like
yeah,
everybody
exactly.
knows what you're doing. Like you're just kind of being a dick.
Yeah, exactly. You're
Right.
trolling.
Right. Like when you're like, hey, Mr. President, like serious question. Right. You're not we are ruling out like military intervention in, retaking things like the Panama Canal. Like, right? We're not going to go invade a sovereign nation and
Oh
retake a
yeah.
thing, right? Like, and he's like, nah, maybe. And you're like, whoa, like,
I'm,
hey man, like, yeah, like, even for me, like, we're crossing a line there where it's just like, hey man, just be cool. Like you
just
don't
be
got to do
cool.
that.
And
Just be cool.
what's funny is I sit back and I watch, and I like to, at least I like to hope that I know that he's not a dummy. He's not a dummy, and I'm pretty sure he learned a lot from his last 4 years. Like he learned a lot, and he learned a lot as far as like how the media works towards him, and now he's taken all that. I'm pretty sure he did his own little AAR. He did a little after action review, and now because
I don't
you
know.
gotta at least you gotta agree with me on this one. He's definitely not been as crazy on Twitter as he was his last go around. You know, he's definitely a
That's
little bit.
because he
I feel
created
like
his own shit show. It's called True Social.
no, but like
Like
even
he's
with
just as
his
batshit
posts
there.
though,
He just doesn't have the fucking
because
audience. He
he
just doesn't have the
knows
audience.
he knows. I feel like he knows whatever he posts, he knows the reaction. Like he knows what's coming. He knows what's coming. He knows the media's approach. He knows how they're going to take it. He knows how they're going to ask. Like he knows where they're going to go with it. Like he just knows. And now I feel like he's playing that game now. He's like, okay, I'm going to play your game. Why? Because I know what you guys are going to do. I know. So I'm going to use you guys in my favor. Like I'm going to use you guys now because I already know you guys, your actions and behaviors are the same, and it's easy. You guys hate me. Here you go. So everything I say, you're going to spin it and you're going to make it like worst case scenario that it's going to be your front headlines. It's going to be all over your like it is going to be there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say this, even though my intention is this, and I'm being advised this, but I don't need to let you guys know that. You know, that's
I'm on True Social right now.
okay.
You
What
want to
was
know
his
how many
last post?
posts were today?
Well, what was his last post today? What was his last post? His most
I'll tell
recent
you.
post?
His first one was uh basically it was a troll picture of Canada, the U.S., and Greenland all together. All right, he blames Gavin Newsom for the fires. Blames Gavin Newsom for the fires. Blames Gavin Newsom for the fires. This is just today. This is just today. Talks about this one was not terrible. Venezuela, specifically the democracy activist Maria Corona Machado. Right, you know what's going on down in Venezuela. This is ambassador to Sweden. Cabinet announcement. Greenland. So Don Jr. was over in Greenland.
Yep.
So he says, "We'll soon, all in caps, threatening to take Greenland."
Well, but
Cabinet
that's
appointment, like
what I'm saying. Like he knows the media is going to be watching that profile.
Was happy the Supreme Court, his appeal case, which was denied today. And then 10 minutes ago, let's see. He directly reaches out to Fox News asking what is going on about adding a new judge to his civil fraud case. He probably, right, like he has done a social media post, right, on his own equivalent of Twitter that he created 15 times today.
And right? What is he posted on all the other platforms, though?
Yeah, significantly less. I think he's back on X now, X, Twitter, whatever. Right, he's back there, but like he posts a lot on his own platform because, right, he's making money off his platform. He wants people to go to his platform. That's the only reason that thing fucking even exists, right? Prior to Elon going full free speech on X, X.
And now Zuckerberg's jumped on that train too.
Yeah. Sure. I'll believe, right? Like, I'll believe that when I see it. And if Kamala won the election, this isn't happening. So
I still think, man, I know you're monitoring the truth, but Truth Social, but I really do think that based off his trend from last go around to now, he's definitely maybe because it's just age, he just got older. Maybe he just knows that, hey, or at the same time, maybe he just learned, okay, hey, I know how they're going to spend this. I know what they're going to do. I'm going to use this in my favor. And I'm not going to go all crazy on Twitter. I'm just going to, I know what I'm going to use, and that's what I'm going to post, and if I want to get a message out, it's going to be direct. So if he's keeping Governor Newsom accountable, I mean, I think every governor should be held accountable to their state. Obviously, that's what they're elected for.
Sure.
And when your state is in state of chaos, freaking own your role. All right. And if you got to, you can, if Governor Newsom, hey, you know what? He can spin this too. He can own that role and he can spin it against Trump if he wanted to. I mean, he could just be like, hey,
he's already like tweeting shit out too, right? Like it's all of them. Like this isn't new. I'm just saying, right? Like if you actually look at the other thing, right? I would argue mainstream media doesn't repeat some of the shit that he says on there. They don't specifically point out it's coming out of Truth Social, in part because that would give that platform legitimacy. So they kind of just try to ignore it unless he says something super bad. Shit. Teen equivalent tweets. Announcements. The rest of them were either trolling Greenland and a little bit of Canada or against the criminal cases out of New York.
Damn. Well, we'll see how this pans out. We'll see how this pans out.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have to see how this pans out. Honestly, you are correct. We don't really have a choice. Let's see how this pans out. I'm definitely just going to kind of hope for the best here on this one. I hope it doesn't turn into I hope it is kind of like just a trolling tactic and kind of just gets people to pay attention and elevates that awareness. And then just like, hey, you know what? Let's sit down and be part of a solution, because here's the issue. That's, to me, that's what a good leader does. And that's what I'm hoping is going to be the outcome on this one, So regardless of what you think, Will, all right, love me, hate me, that's why we're here. We find comfort in our chaos together. We're going to do that,
Well, I love you long time.
Love you long time.
I love you lot.
Hey, you know what? Hey, on good news though, we did
Too
forget to touch.
beaucoup.
Since just to go circle back on the fires, one cool thing, Will, and I don't know if you're tracking this, but your man Elon stepping up. He's stepping up. He did make an announcement. Hey, SpaceX going to provide
Yeah.
Starlink terminals, man, to all the to support some of the efforts over in LA. So I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I think Elon is he's definitely one that is his heart's for the country. You can just you can feel that, and he's got that pride and he's willing to even use his own resources outside of this isn't the government, this is private, this is him. This isn't him saying, "Hey, I need government approval." No, he's like, "Hey, here you go."
Yeah, he did the same thing in after the hurricane that tore up down through Florida all the way up into North Carolina. That really flattened North Carolina. He was doing the same thing. He was delivering Starlink terminals to him. And this speaks to, once again, right, like government shitty inefficiencies. Right. And I forget the exact number. I think it was like 24. Was it 24? Was it? I'll have to look up the number. I'll look up the number. We'll
go for it
at some point.
Look up that number. Look up that number. We'll stand by.
Yeah. So the government was supposed to, I'm doing it right now. The government was supposed to spend a whole ridiculous amount of money on bringing internet to rural areas, right? Starlink was one of the major competitors.
Hell yeah.
Against that contract, and the Biden administration shut them down and decided to go with another provider. They had delivered, as of the time that Biden is going to be leaving office, 0 internet terminals to rural Americans at a cost, an astronomical cost.
Of course.
I mean, and so,
but no product.
Yeah, and they basically just turned Elon off because, right, they didn't like him, despite the fact that he was going to be able to provide cheaper, more reliable, instantaneous internet. Instead, they wanted to try and drag fiber out into the mountains of Appalachia and have done absolute fuck all while wasting our tax dollars.
Exactly. F all while wasting our tax dollars. But hey, shout out to Elon, guys. Let's get Elon. Let's get a chance. What you doing, man? Helping people find comfort in their chaos. We're gonna have to send him a hoodie. What do you think, Will? Send a hoodie to Elon?
Oh yeah, he would dig it.
I think he would. I think he would dig it.
Yeah.
Hey guys. Hey, I mean, in other news though, we won't bounce on this. There's a lot more going on in this world today. And as did you get
42 billion?
42 billion?
42 billion during this administration.
Holy crap.
Has connected to the internet. 42 billion.
Wow. I'm pretty sure a lot of people in LA can use some of that money right now. That's for sure. In
or North Carolina or
North Carolina. Yeah, exactly. Man. Oh, well, let's hope for, it's all what 11 days, Will? 11 more days. 11 more days, team, and we'll see. Hopefully, we get some change on this. Change of command. 11 days from now. All right, guys. Hey, as you already know, hey, just because what's going on over here in our backyard, hey, there's still a lot of stuff going on around the world. All right, we should be paying attention to. The world doesn't stop. All right, and neither does that chaos that's going on over there. And right now, guys, this was the current UN report as far as like that Ukrainian war that we've been hearing about for so long. Well, what are we going on 3 years now, Will?
Yeah.
A 3-year war. 3-year war. All right. Hey, already, what do you think of that, Will? 12,300. These are innocent casualties, all right? These are civilians, guys. Reported by the UN, came out today. Over 12,300 innocent bystanders now were killed in this 3-year war. And the big thing is, and I'm pretty sure the question is on a lot of your guys' minds, and it is, I mean, is there ever going to be an end to this? And I know we all want it to end. I mean, wars, trust me, this is no one ever likes it. And if someone does, hey, please, take that ship to Mars or something. But war is not pleasant. All right. 12,300 innocent souls, women, children. It's not pretty. It's not a pretty statistic to report there. But I'm telling you, I don't know, Will. What do you think? You think there's going to be an end to this here? You think this year, with this new change of command, you think we'll finally see some resolution on this? Or
God, I hope so. Uh, I hope that we get some leadership in there that will really kind of challenge notion that this needs to continue, and put an end to it, hopefully quickly. The current administration is really doing everything that they can do to handcuff uh, Trump in his ability to end this quickly, right? I believe it was yesterday or today, another 500 billion being sent over to Ukraine via old Sleepy Joe.
yeah,
So he's just dumping as much money as fast as humanly possible in there, as kind of a stopgap to Trump coming in and forcing some type of a negotiated settlement to stop this. Right? We've talked about this before. If the U.S. has a policy, if the U.S. has an idea, right, actual hard red lines of when and where and how to support, it's just been a piecemeal mess. There's no exit strategy. There's no, right. This is the
true.
same shit that had us in Afghanistan for 20 years, that has us still in the Middle East, in Iraq and Syria, and right, like it's the same shit, right?
It is.
It's not a coherent policy with clear objectives, clear lines in the sand, and if there is such a thing, it has not been communicated to fun. So nobody knows what's going on, and us just spending money to continue this conflict, right? Like, I fully support Ukrainian independence, right? What Russia is doing is disgusting.
I
Um,
agree.
but what is the solution? Is the solution just to keep dumping money into it? And
Exactly.
until what? When? Like, until what? What's
No, exactly.
end goal? Right? And
Now,
how
no, I totally agree. And I'm going to we always talk about accountability,
yeah.
and we have a new commander in chief who literally said, and I hope people hold him accountable, but he even said when he takes office, he said within 24 hours that war would be over. There would be a
Right.
solution. I
That's
mean,
that's the question, right? But do you give up Ukrainian territory to the Russians?
no, that's just, what does that solution look like? That's the thing.
Sure. Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's going to be the question everyone should be asking is, okay,
Yeah.
what does that solution look like?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be a big challenge. I'll tell you that for this upcoming administration, that's going to be probably one of their biggest challenges right now. And there's going to be a lot of media enforcement and accountability checks, and I'm sure. So it's going to be interesting. But either way, I think we all can agree it needs to come to an end, and hopefully this year it will. I'm
Yeah.
hoping. I'm hoping it
Yeah.
will. I'm hoping some solution, because that number of civilian casualties, it needs to not climb up anymore. It needs to stop. So we need to come to a solution. I think we all agree on that one. So, yeah, and that's a good segue into obviously some more little tidbits of what's going on. So, obviously, those efforts still going on, and it's turning into a multi-country support. And obviously, we're supporting on both the financial and resources wise, but at the same time, you got the other side. Russia's also gaining some support as well, and that relationship between
Yeah.
Russia and North Korea is it's one that's definitely being flexed and it's definitely being broadcasted widely. Now, obviously, we don't know all the details in that, and I don't think any of us really, unless you're over there, you're not gonna really know. You'll just know what's being shared, really. But I don't know. Will, what do you think? You think this is gonna be? You think this is a big? This is gonna affect us in the next upcoming. This is gonna affect the next upcoming administration. This growing relationship between North Korea and Russia. Or do you think if that Ukrainian war, if there is a solution, do you think that relationship kind of comes down to a tactical pause?
No, I mean, both the North Koreans and Russians will utilize each other to gain what they see as perceived advantage. We've talked about this on previous episodes. None of this is good. The North Koreans, right, had really been fairly isolated when it comes to their military abilities and abilities. And so with them linking in very closely with the Russians, they're gaining that experience, right? They're the same way that we did during 20 years of conflict, right? The bounds that our military capabilities grew through regular combat operations, both from a strategy and technology side over the last 20 years, right? They're starting to do the same. They're in live combat, and they're seeing what that actually looks like. So then you can refine your TTPs, you can refine your SOPs to reflect what real modern combat looks like, especially with the level of trench warfare, the new trench warfare, new drone warfare, right? What's old
Exactly.
is new.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting on the ground real world experience. They're also being exposed to pornography. So I've heard, like, you
Yeah,
just really can't
that
get
is
those
the
little
one
North
thing
Korean
too.
bastards out of the
I
barracks,
mean,
because they've now found the internet, and
yeah, they
it's
found some.
just their walls look like Jackson Pollock paintings.
They're gonna
It's
all
it's
come back
gross.
with some
It's
really
gross.
strong. They're gonna have some strong
Just
forearms.
their
Just
forearms just
gonna be
jacked.
yoked. Just straight up
Just
yoked.
just one though. Just one. Just one forearm, just absolutely
Just
yoked
yeah,
to the
they're gonna
gills.
have one. Exactly.
But when they can get them out,
Hey,
it's not good.
yeah. Hey, what? Hey, if they're gonna go out there and they're gonna fight, hey, at least let them kind of see what's out there in the world. Because that is one thing too. I am interested. How many North Korean casualties? Like how many casualties from the North
I'm
Korean side?
sure. I'm also really curious on the level of defection, and then as these guys get back, right?
Yep.
Can you
The
imagine, right?
level.
Like, you've been sheltered and like fed this really tight propaganda machine, and then you see the internet for the first time.
Oh yeah. You're like seeing the world.
Ooh, right? And then you go back to that, yeah, and you're like, bro, I've seen things. Like, they're hiding it. They're
Exactly.
hiding it all from us.
This could yeah, this could be this can't I can't imagine this turns out well for them all on the North Korean side when they get back home because we're talking about thousands exposed to
Yeah,
that. And that
yeah,
influence is just people are gonna talk, soldiers are gonna talk, leaders are gonna talk, and commanders are gonna
yeah,
talk. So it's gonna be interesting, I'm pretty sure there's probably a whole
yep.
there's lists of battalions that are just volunteering because their word's already getting back, like, we want to go next. We want to go next. Yeah, send us,
Right,
send us.
right.
Who we need 5 to go to Russia. Who's ready? There's like 50 stand up.
I saw, I saw what Johnny's arm looked like when he got home. I wants me some of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's interesting. Oh man. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see. But guys, overall though, we're not going to just leave you all empty-handed. All right, there's plenty more. We're going to tune in and we're going to bring some more to you guys in upcoming episodes. But this is just what's going on currently. We want to make sure you guys kind of are both informed and both aware of this. That way you can gain your own knowledge and apply your own opinion and perspective to it. Hopefully, it's all from a common sense basis because that's what you're going to get here. All right. Common sense in an uncommon world. But in the meantime, team, guys, find your heroes, team. Find your heroes. All right. Be the hero. All right. Because there's a Superman in all of us. All right. Or Superwoman.
God.
There's a Superman in all of us. All right. That's what you got to hang tight to. All right. That's what I do. This might be the next t-shirt right here. Oh yeah.
No.
Will, don't knock him, man. This is the man right here. He's ready to go. He's right here. He's saying, "Hey, send me to California. Let's go."
Oh God.
Come on, man. Dude. It's the internet. Blame the internet.
Yeah. The internet is pretty gross.
Oh wow. Hey guys. Hey. I appreciate you guys tuning in. All right. I hope you all gain some understanding as far as what's going on in the world. And please, by all means, comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on all of that we discuss. I'm curious to know. And if any of you are in California, please, come up on the net. Us, if you're any of my battle buddy or former friends or one of my battle buddies out there, hey, come up on the net, hit me up. I'm definitely gonna do my best to help you guys out and see about finding some resources available because there are resources, guys. Hey, and a lot of you guys out there, and I know because I'm one of those, but if you got those resources available, you got those shelters, you got all that stuff. Hey, put the pride down. Put your family first, put that circle first, and make sure everyone's taken care of in that circle. Don't worry about the pride. Put the pride down. All right. I don't know, Will. What do you got? What do you got for the team?
Well, first, taxation is theft. And you can.
I'm pretty sure in California, those Californians can agree with you on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ben Franklin said you can tax this dick. So there's that.
I did he really say that?
I'm like 1,000% sure he said that. Said straight to King George at the time.
Did they actually call it that though back then?
Yeah, they definitely call it that. Yeah, definitely.
When was the first time that word was used? I want to
what tax this dick?
Yeah, yeah. Straight
Ben
up,
Franklin. Ben Franklin said that. Straight
the
up
D
said
word.
that.
Who invented the D word, team?
I don't know.
Comment down below. Let me know. Let's get a fact check on that.
And hey, like if you hit us up, right, like show us wearing some of the uniform of the day. Hit us up with that, and there'll be some special surprizes.
Hell yeah, guys! Tag us. Tag me on the socials, guys. The Instagram, all the links are in the description. Tag it. Take a selfie. Tag it.
Free subscription to my OnlyFans.
And that's right. We'll send a little something special your way, team.
Yeah, straight from my cell phone camera to your inbox.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys stay safe out there. Do your push-ups, take your vitamins, drink your water, continue mission, guys, and continue to find comfort in your chaos. We'll see you on the next one, team. Out.